Hello people, welcome to my channel and to today's episode of Eat, Pray, Smoke? I'm bringing you a more simple video today. There's not gonna be a lot of animation. Not that I do that much to begin with. But today there's gonna be even less. So, not a lot of this. Ooh, not a lot of this gonna be going on. Because that takes way too long. That took me 5 days. I haven't seen my family. But anyways, onto the video. Have you ever hung out with anyone that's like older than, I don't know, 40? If you have, you've most likely seen them on their Facebook trying to buy t-shirts about their birthday or whatever. But you've probably also caught them watching copious amounts of trashy, positive message videos. You know, the ones, the dramatic sketches with the storyline, there's conflict.
Oh my god. Was that a fart?
Insane stakes.
Time to die.
And in the end, a nice little message.
You took a dump on the student's essay?
Well, Mexicans have had a whole show like that for decades now. And I've realized that the rest of the world is never gonna know of it, so here I am, spreading the message. The show is called La Rosa de Guadalupe, literally translated to Guadalupe's Rose, and it's kinda nuts.
Dame todo lo de valor que traes.
They have so many subjects that they've gone over and so many ridiculous moments.
¿Qué?
So today, I'm only gonna focus on one topic. Marihuana. Oh, sí. Uy, pásamela. Mexico, still to this day, has a very negative view on weed. To them, this shit is like heroin mixed with AIDS, mixed with the Mexican equivalent of 9/11. And there's a lot of misconceptions and ignorance surrounding it. And this show is not helping. Now, let's look at this first clip to really set the tone for the rest of the video so you can see just where we're at.
¿Sabes qué es esto?
Sí, es un cigarro de marihuana. Le juro que yo no sabía. ¿Qué? ¡Démelo!
Hija.
¡Démelo!
Por favor, hija. Hija, calma, por favor, hija. Hija, calma.
¡No! ¡Démelo, por favor! ¡Démelo! ¡Démelo! ¡Yo no quiero! ¡Démelo!
That's not what happens. Weed doesn't do that. I feel like the effects of weed are pretty well known, right? We all know what potheads look like. I mean, this is crack, right? I should know. I lived next to a crackhead for 10 years. In this next scene, she's even doing like little tasks she's giving herself, cause as we all know, crackheads give themselves little tasks to do. They work in mysterious ways. That's how they get their inhuman powers, by doing random shit.
You have collected 4 pieces of plywood and 10 glass bottles. You have unlocked backflip.
This is just to show you just how little research is being made. Or, it's more like how blatantly they're misinforming their Mexican audience. Cause, in case you don't know, weed doesn't do this. And if you thought that was crazy, they find out this girl is like this because she was born an addict. Her mom confesses she smoked that hierba mala when she was pregnant, causing her daughter to be born an addict. Which is a real thing with other drugs, but of course, not with weed. So if you're pregnant, go right ahead and smoke all the weed you want. It won't do anything. I'm kidding. Don't do that. I do believe there's some form of addiction with that chronic, even though everybody says there isn't. That being said, I do believe it's one of the least harmful drugs out there, and you don't go through withdrawal symptoms just because you didn't have a blunt that day. I do feel obligated to say, don't give weed to kids. I don't know who needs to hear that, but that's a nice segue to our next clip. This episode stars yet another teenage girl. In the beginning of the episode, we see she's being complimented by her mom and sister for her baking skills because she made some jello. So, right away this is off the rails. Then, we see her little sister want some, but Maridol, that's the name of the main character of this episode, goes, "Yeah! She explains they can't have any of this jello, but that she made an extra tray just for them. Now what they don't know is that this chick is like a weed patissier, and that she actually made weed jello, which I didn't even know you could do. Later on, her friends are smoking that wacky tobacco. She tells them she's never actually had any and gets peer pressured into having some. And, well, take a look.
Hoy esa fantasía se convierte en una realidad.
What the fuck was that shit?
That's fucking horrific. You know, I've tried weed. It wasn't really my thing, but I get why it's so popular. And there's no way it would be as popular as it is today if these were the effects. This is what a group of adult writers think happens when you smoke weed. Or at worst, they are purposefully misleading audiences. So anyways, later on we see Maridol being tasked with making some special brownies for her friends on account of her great baking skills. As usual, she makes 2 batches. One for her friends and one for her family without that sticky icky.
Nada más acuérdate, por favor, el grande es para mi fiesta y el chiquito es para ustedes, ¿ok?
Sí, mi amor, nadie va a tocar el brownie que hiciste para...
That night, Maridol's sister gets up in the middle of the night because she's thirsty.
Tengo sed.
And when she gets to the kitchen, she decides to quench her thirst with a nice, tall glass of brownie.
Brownies.
The special brownies that Maridol made. Now, first off, fuck this kid. Also, Mom, what the fuck? Weren't you gonna make sure nobody touched it? I've watched this little gremlin for 2 seconds and I already know not to let her near any of my food. She already knows her sister doesn't like it when she eats her stuff, and you can see the other tray right there. If something failed here, it's the little sister's manners. But yeah, anyways, she doesn't wake up the next morning. She gets baked into a coma, which again, can't happen. You can't OD on weed. Well, actually, I don't really know if that's the case for kids. I don't want that to be on my Google history. In the end, the dad prays to the Virgin Mary and... oh yeah, that's something I forgot to say. 100% of all conflicts in this show end when somebody prays to the Virgin Mary, then a white rose appears, and all of the problems get solved. Hey, really quick thing here. This is me editing the video, and I realized that the dad doesn't pray to the Virgin Mary. It's the daughter, and the other one. I don't know why I thought it was the dad. I just thought that it couldn't have been the sister, because she's the one that gets sick, almost dies. So she prays to the Virgin Mary and tells her to, you know, help her sister and stop her from acting so weird. And then God is just like, I don't know exactly what to fucking do. And fucking sends her into like the first weed-related coma. Alright, that was it. Back to the video. Now, with that in mind, let's go into this last clip, which isn't really about weed, but I added it because I believe in the rule of threes. And because I couldn't find the episode I wanted. But most of all, because it's really funny. So, these kids like taking drugs. In the beginning of the episode, they're seen scrounging up some money because they owe their dealer. This guy pays him back, and the dealer just beats the shit out of him. For no reason other than he was a little late with the money. I gotta say, you have to know you're not gonna be getting paid for a while if you're selling drugs to fucking teenagers, right? You can't really be mad at them for not having money when they're 15 and in Mexico. And also, what a bad business model, because these kids stopped buying drugs from him immediately. This guy was such an asshole that these kids who were hard set on taking drugs give up on the very concept and decide to look for an alternative. And one of them finds that alternative.
Downloadable drugs.
That's right, they find this website where you can download drugs. And they have everything. So, the way it works is that these files are certain sounds that make you feel like you're on drugs. Let me repeat that. They download sounds that replicate the effects of taking hardcore drugs with seemingly no negative side effects, which obviously is very bad. I mean, I wouldn't. The first guy goes up and tries, I don't know, sound cocaine or whatever. And then this happens. Now, years of watching Al Pacino movies have taught me very little. But they have taught me how one would act if they were on cocaine.
She got a great ass!
This ain't it. Also, how could they get it so wrong? I feel like cocaine's effects are some of the most notorious, right?
Enough of this shit'll make you invincible.
They make you go, they make you go, Rah! This guy looks like he's gonna bust one off. So the other teens try it, and they also have similar reactions to whatever sound drugs. And then, yeah, I don't know what happens next. I couldn't find the next part, so I don't know if there were any negative side effects, but I don't really need to know because it would all be made up anyways. Are you kidding? This is ridiculous. Lastly, I just want to show you this short clip because it's really funny. Now, I know I said that the last one would be the last one, but it's really short and it's really funny, so.
Quiero drogarme.
¿Es neta, bro?
Sí, quiero drogarme, quiero olvidarme de todas mis tristezas y ser feliz.
¿Te cae?
Sí, quiero drogarme.
Look at that mischievous look at the blunt. That absolute devious look at the blunt. My guy is looking at that blunt like a proud and understanding companion at the end of a movie. Vin Diesel, Mr. Miyagi looking motherfucker. He's looking at that blunt like an impressive turd that he's proud of. Yeah, probably should have led with that one. And yeah, just so you know, it's also weird for us, for this little boy to be running in the woods, yelling that he wants to get high. Alright, that's all I have to say about this show. Let me know if you want to see me talk about more episodes of this show. Because, just to reiterate, these are just 3 episodes. 4. But there's so much that they've covered. There's drugs, infidelity, bullying, gay. That was a big one. And so many more ridiculous moments. Alright, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye. Alright.